We are proceeding towards Crawford House, a beautiful resort in the wilderness mountains of New Hampshire. The road winds its way through almost virgin forest. A road cuts off to the right, and we see the resort in the background. As we step from our modest vehicle, we wipe our blood-stained eyes and cast them to the south, where we see Crawford Notch! Our breath taken away by the spectacular view, we step towards the magnificent stairway, which we climb. We face now the massive doorway. We step inside. There's beautiful background music inside, and we see fabulous interior decorating, plush carpeted corridor. We hear the murmur of voices in the background, friendly voices, sitting around the glowing embers of the fire. 2 doors up ahead, obviously leading into the dining room. Our reservations are made, and we decide to go in and have something to eat. We enter a beautiful dining room and are seated at a table for 2 by a charming young gentleman by the name of Mr. Below. A small string quartet at the rear of the dining room is just getting ready to play. The music is we overhear one of the guests at the next table talking to Mr. Below.
It's too piercing, like I don't dig loud noises.
Mr. Below heads to the back of the dining room to see what can be arranged with the conductor. Our waitress is the very charming Miss Judith McGallagher. Mr. Below is a very busy fellow in his capacity as assistant maitre d'. He is now over having a rather heated discussion with one of the waitresses. I believe her name is Glee Bowlman. Glee's busboy, Gerald McReel, is having lime jello with raspberry sherbet on top, while Glee is just finishing off a Chateaubriand steak in her side stand. Oh, I see our food is here now, so we will eat now. Now that we've finished our meal, I think we shall retire to our room. We proceed back into the pleasant atmosphere of the lobby and go over to the main clerk's desk. Permit me to introduce myself. My name is Kimberly Clark, and this is my assistant, Nathan T. Barf.
Have you made reservations?
Yes, it will be under Barf.
I beg your pardon?
Under the name Nathan T. Barf.
Oh, of course. Just a minute. Ah, here it is. Room 217. Here is your key. Take the stairway to your left.
Thank you very much. Rather beautiful, the furnished upstairs corridor. I wonder which room is the right room. Well, maybe this is it right here.
Darling, I'm yours.
Obviously not room 217. Perhaps this one. Well, this has got to be our room right here. This is a rather nice room. Oh, Nathan, would you close the door for me, please? On the south side of the room is a pair of glass doors leading out onto a beautiful balcony. It's rather nice out here, yes. There's a man on the balcony next door, looking south to the breathtaking view of Crawford Notch. The fellow next door seems to be having a little trouble getting back into his room.
Hey. Yeah, man.
I locked myself out.
Crazy. I come through the window.
Seems to be safely back inside now. Now that it's getting a little bit dark outside, we're going to investigate what that large green building is over there. Nathan, will you turn off the music, please? We take careful note of where our room is, so we won't have any trouble finding it on the way back. We pass down the stairs once again, and into the beautiful lounge once again, where there is still a very congenial crowd gathered around the glowing fire. We pass out the long corridor that leads to the main entrance, and we step once again into the beautiful twilight air of Crawford Notch. The sun has just dropped behind the mountains, and there's a beautiful orange tint to the clouds. Oh, good evening, Mr. Halliday.
Oh, good evening, Mr. Clark. I certainly hope you are enjoying your stay here at Crawford Notch.
We come into the large green building. The underneath is like a stable. Stalls for horses along the sides, now with shiny cars in them. Oh, there's a stairway at the far end. These slanting wooden stairs. Stairs are strewn with garbage. There's a powerful odor. We hear music as we come up the stairs. As we come along the corridor, it's all dirty with plaster dust and papers and beer bottles and bottle caps. Most of the doors, all the doors in this place have at least one panel smashed out. Some rooms there aren't even any doors on, or just a bare frame. Perhaps we should talk to someone up here just to find out more about this place. We'll try room 19 here. Say, wake up over there. Wake up. Excuse me, wake up, will you please?
Who is it?
My name is Kimberly Clark.
Hi,
What's your name?
Bob Brigham. Why do you ask?
How long have you been here?
My friend and I, Gerald McCreel, came up here 4 days ago. We've only got 2 weeks left in this puke hole. Well, there's no heat, there's no hot water, and we have to eat in a zoo. It's really rotten, you know? I was just going down to Dorgan's, the canteen. Just like to come along, see me more of the fellas. I got my car right outside. Let's go.
What's that fella doing down there?
Oh, you mean Steve Sanders? Oh, he's just smashing a couple of doors through with that lead pipe, that's all.
As we proceed back down the corridor, some fellas engaged in writing on quaint sayings on the walls. Proceed back down the garbage-strewn stairs. Is this your car over here?
Yes, it certainly is. The 56 Chevy. Some people tell me I drive a little bit too fast, but everybody gets used to it. Well, here we are. My door seems to be jammed on this side. Mind if I get out over your side there?
No, why don't you get out? Yeah, get out this side. Not a bad car you had.
Why, thank you very much.
We hear the music roaring from inside. Say, Bob, what happened to the screen door and the railing here? They're all smashed.
There seems to be a waiter in here was giving Maddie a little bit of trouble, so she had a couple of the hoods put him out, and he refused to go, so they just had to throw him through the door, and unfortunately they forgot to open it before he left.
How about some of these people around here? Who are they?
Well, I'd like to introduce the proprietors of the store. There's Mrs. Dorgan and Maddie behind the counter over there. Mrs. Dorgan has an extremely fine personality, I think.
Who's that group of hoods? It looked like a group of hoods in the last booth over there.
Well, those hoods, as you call them, are 4 of our waiters up at the Crawford House. There's Bill Coronor, Tom Greenman, Russ Loser, and Dino. Over here by the counter we see Gerald McCreel, who has just ordered an apple pie with 6 scoops of ice cream.
How about that couple over there?
Well, this is Kirby Falley. He's the cocktail waiter at the Crawford House, and Winnie Pooh. There are a few people that aren't here now. If you'd like to meet them, I imagine they'll probably be down at the beach house.
Good. How do we get there from here?
Well, it's about a 5-minute walk from the Crawford House.
We step out onto the porch once again and head back to what's left of Bob's car. It's only a short distance by car from Dorgan's to the beach house. Bob has dropped us off here and has returned to Dorgan's. Beach house is located on a wilderness lake in the beautiful woodlands in back of Crawford House. We look in through the windows and note beautiful warm glow from a fireplace, and we decide to step inside and see who's around.
Darling, I'm yours.
Well, I'd really rather stay outside tonight anyway. It's a nice night. You know, there's a strange story connected with this place. It happened not too many years ago. There were several young couples having just an informal get-together at the beach house. The night drew on, and the mist was rolling in off the lake. A layer of clouds covered the sky. There was no moon. As As the evening dragged on, most of the couples left. In fact, all except one. This last couple was just dozing off, almost asleep, just on the verge, when from the back room, the low note on the piano was struck. The couple looked at each other, suddenly awakened. What was that noise? They thought they should leave immediately. They gathered up their wraps quickly and rushed out the front door, leaving it open, and ran all the way back to their quarters. The next morning, an investigation turned up. A smashed window and an open door in the back, and a large rusty grappling hook leaning against the wall. To this day, no one has ever been able to explain what happened that night. But, of course, that's not the kind of thing that happens every day. Nathan, I think it's about time we got a little shut-eye. After all, it's been a long day, and we'll have a long day ahead of us tomorrow. Let's go. Nathan, come on, let's go. The next morning, we arrived bright and early at breakfast, and are seated by Mr. Charles Below at our same table that we had last night. While we are waiting for breakfast, we see Mrs. McPhee, the maitre d', coming towards us.
Good morning!
Why, good morning, Mrs. McPhee.
It's a lovely morning this morning. Is there anything I can get you?
No, thank you. We're all set.
Alrighty.
I see our breakfast is here, so, we will eat now. After a hearty breakfast, we decide we must be on our way quite quickly. But before we go, we would like to compliment the chef. We will go back to the kitchen now and see if we can find the chef. Chef, my name is Mr. Kimberly Clark, and this is my assistant, Mr. Nathan T. Barf.
I'm very pleased to meet you.
We're just taking a tour through Crawford House.
Are you enjoying your stay here in Crawford Notch?
Chef, I wish you wouldn't say that. It's beginning to wear on my nerves.
Say what? Crawford Notch?
We hasten through the kitchen, back into the dining room once again. We hurry through the dining room, back into the lobby once again. Over to the main clerk's desk now. Excuse me, sir. I'd like to thank you very much for having us here and return the key. It was a very fine room, and we really enjoyed ourselves.
I'm glad you came to our lovely resort. Have you enjoyed your stay here?
Yes, I've enjoyed myself very much, thank you.
Oh, you like Crawford Notch? Sir? Why are you holding your ears like that? Something wrong? Can I be of any assistance? Or do you have something against Crawford Notch?
Oh, my ears. I have this pounding sensation in my head. I'm glad we're out of there. But just outside the door, we see the Morning Express going by.
What do you see?
They've just disappeared around the corner. But what's this? Another train in back of them? We must step into our modest vehicle once again and be on our way. With heavy hearts, we leave the spectacular Crawford Notch. Oh no!